I've been trying a lot of different apps for my Apple Watch in terms of hiking and outdoor navigation, and I found what I think is the best choice, and it's called the Footpath app. Now, it works completely independent of your phone. You can just have your watch on, you can download offline maps to it, and you can get turn-by-turn directions out on the trail. Very powerful. It also has pretty easy route planning tools, so you can use your phone to plan a hike out. And you can also import hikes from other places like AllTrails, which I'll show you on this video. In fact, I'll show you how to plan a hike. We'll import something from AllTrails, and then we'll go out on the trail and navigate with the watch. I'll show you what's included with the watch, what the features are, how to use them, and how to successfully navigate and track your hike. Now, one big caveat: you need a premium subscription to Footpath in order to do this. So I'd say watch the video, see if it works for you, and then just do a free trial. If you want to get it, it's $24, I believe, for the year if you buy an annual one. $2 a month, I think that's a bargain, especially if you paid whatever, $800 for an Apple Watch Ultra. This is the best tool for the job. The premium subscription gets you the Apple Watch app, offline maps, and a couple dozen different map sets that you can use for planning. This is not sponsored by Footpath in any way. I just genuinely think this is a great app for hiking. This channel is user supported, so please consider supporting the channel if you like it. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and if you just want to say thank you, you can just click that little thumbs up button. All right, here we are in the Footpath app. What you're going to want to do with the interface is click on these three bars, this little menu tab in the upper left-hand corner. Then you will get a list of your routes right here, and you can organize these into folders, basically called lists. And if you look along the bottom here, you have your navigation tab. So we're in routes right now, but we can also just track a hike freeform. So if we don't want to navigate, we just want to go out and walk or do whatever we want to do, we can record that as well. And then there is a settings tab right here where we can manage our account, but also we can import a GPX file that I will show you a little bit later in this video. So we can get routes from other places like AllTrails or wherever you get them and bring them into Footpath and navigate with them. So that's that. All right, so let's go ahead and create a hike for us to do, and we'll plan it in the app, and then I will show you how to do it online as well. And again, I'll show you how to import a GPX file. So let's click on New Route. And the first thing you want to do is click on this button here where it says hiking right now, and choose what you want to use as your activity. Now, there are a bunch of them in here, and this will determine what types of paths and roads that Footpath will route you on. So if you are walking or running or hiking, it'll bring you on, pedestrian paths or hiking trails. If you're driving, it'll bring you on interstates. This is going to determine all of that, and there are a bunch of different options you can choose here. And we're going to choose a map style, and I'm going to go into the maps a little bit more detail in a second, but we can go here and choose the map. We're going to use the Footpath topo map right now, and otherwise we're good. Let's just clear route so there's nothing in there. And let's go up to the search bar, and let's go to the place where I want to do the hike. So Bomber Canyon Trailhead. And to create a hike, we're just going to zoom in here. This is the trailhead right here. And there's a few ways to do this. We can click on this icon right down here as to draw. So there we go. And then all I have to do is just draw on the trail like that. And you can see it started the path. And then I can zoom out, click that again, and draw again. And it snaps it to the path automatically. So that's the easiest way to do it. And if you don't want it to snap, if you just want to go straight, you see this little magnet right there? If you unclick that, and then you just hit the draw again, and then go like this, whatever we want to do, there you can see it's done that, and it hasn't snapped it onto the trail. If you want to go back, you can hit this undo button right here, and we can go ahead and get rid of that. Now, another way to do it, once we have this thing going, is you can just hold down on the path right here, and you can see that it's drawn the path for me right there. Now, here we are at a bridge. One of the neat things you can do is if you click on this point right here, we can add a waypoint. You see this little waypoint marker? If we click on that, we can type in whatever we want it to be. And this is handy if you're like camping somewhere or you're looking for a water feature, you know, water source or something. But look, I typed bridge and it changed the icon for me anyway. So that's good. And if I click on this, we can edit it and move it around different places or whatever we want to do. You can also save this to favorites, and then it will be available for all the different routes that you create. But anyway, there is bridge. We have that there. And you can see we're easily, you know, creating this hike here by zooming out and drawing. So let's go ahead and have it route us. We'll go right here. Now, one of the things that's interesting, if you want to change the route, so here's where it's routed us automatically because I pressed down on that point, but let's say I want to go on this trail over here. All we have to do to edit this is just go here and draw on this. And there, it's rerouted us onto that trail. So very, very cool, very powerful. And we can also erase. So if I click on that, and then you see this little eraser icon. If I click on this eraser icon, I can erase like this, and it'll take that off of the trail. So very, very powerful planning tool. We can also look at the elevation. If we click on this little up line right here in the upper right, it's calculated the elevation for us, and you can see the parts that are yellow are more or steeper than the other parts. And let me add a little bit of a steeper section in. It goes to red. There we go. You can see it gets steep here and it goes red. And we'll be able to see that on the watch as well. And you can see that when it draws the line out, now it's adding the elevation into there. The yellow parts are uphill, red parts are steep uphill, and it's all in there. Now, when we're done creating our route, we hit this little share button up in the upper right-hand corner. And now we can do save route. And there it is, nature route, ridge route, hiking, add to list, and that's a list is just a folder, save route, and there we go. Here's the little profile for it. One of the cool things about a Footpath is it creates something called a cue sheet. And if you go down to the bottom here in the middle, click on that. Here is a cue sheet, and this is telling us where to turn. And this is how people used to hike in the old days. This is how I used to hike before there was GPS. I would read a guidebook and just make an index card that had these little directions on them. And this does it for you. You can adjust your pace. You see where it says 44 minutes. That's the pace, or that's the time estimate to do this. But if I hold my finger down on that and I pull it left or right, I can change my average miles per hour, and I can change my time estimate. And this time estimate is taking into account the uphills and the downhills to do it. It's not just one pace, but it's adjusting it for me. So if I know that I generally hike at a 2.5 mile pace, there you could see that it's adjusted that for me. So very cool. From here, we can send it to the watch or start navigation. We'll do that in a second or two, but I just want to show you a couple other things first. Now, with the premium membership, you get access to a bunch of different map layers, all very powerful, especially for this price point. What you get is pretty amazing. Let's go ahead and create a new route. And let's go into the mountains so I can show you some of these cool features here. And here we are. Let's go down to this trail. Let's start a new route from Dry Lake. Set as start. I'm holding down right there. I can do set as start. And I can go up, let's go up to the San Gorgonio Mountain. And there, it's routed me up there automatically. But let's go ahead and go to the map layers. And I can hit this little button on the lower right-hand corner too. And let's go to map style. And there are a few different, or many different layers here. And if you want to know what the map is all about and get a key to the map, you can go to the website, and each map has a page where it gives you a key and a breakdown. Thunder Forest Outdoors, these are all based on OpenStreetMaps, OSM maps. They're all basically the same basis as AllTrails and Gaia GPS. We can look at a satellite topographic map, But we can also look at a live satellite, which is a recent satellite. And if we click on this, this is a good way to see if there is snow on the route. And there it goes. It's loaded in. You can see that there's a good amount of snow here. So this hike will be going through the snow. So maybe I don't want to do that. It's also giving me the date of the satellite image. So that's pretty cool. There's also satellite live without clouds, false color, and high-res US. We also have for the United States, USGS topographic maps. So I can see the different features there. And also there are local maps from other countries here. From Europe, you can see Ordnance Survey maps, all different types of maps. If you go to the website, it will list all of these maps out for you. But very cool, very robust set of maps here. And let me just show you one last one while we're in the mountains here. If we go to 3D satellite, there you can see that it is a uphill hike and pretty cool in terms of what you can do and the types of information you can get when you're planning here. So those are the maps. Definitely you get a lot for the money with the mapping. All right, let's say we have an existing GPX file that we want to bring into here. We don't want to draw the map ourselves, but instead we want to maybe go to AllTrails and download a route. You just go to this right here, download it as a GPX file, and then put it into your iCloud folder. Your iCloud folder will sync it to your phone if you have iCloud enabled. And then all you have to do is go into Settings on the bottom right here, import GPX file. And here is my iCloud drive. And if I go into GPX, I can pick any one of these different hikes here and whatever, Cable Mountain. Here it is, and I have this hike in here that I've imported from wherever, from AllTrails, from HikingGuy.com, wherever you might get a GPX file, you can bring it in here and then save it, and we can call it whatever we'd like to, blah, 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 save route, and there it is. And now we can hike with this on our Apple Watch. Now, another cool thing you can do if you're on a computer, you can go to the app page, click on New Route up here. And once you're here, you can use the tools on the side to simply create another route, just like we did, except this time I'm clicking. I'm obviously not dragging my finger across the screen. And I can change the map layers, just like we did before. They're all in here. So this is a pretty cool tool as well. And you can also import very easily GPX files from AllTrails. If we go to AllTrails, if I go to More, Download Route, GPX track, and here it is on my desktop. Let me go back to Footpath. If I just drag this in here, there it is in Footpath, and all I have to do now is just click Save It. Timberline Trail, hiking, save. And now this will sync with my phone and I can send it to my Apple Watch. So very powerful, very cool, and lots of different ways that we can come in here and get our adventure sent to our watch so that we can navigate. All right, so let's go back to the hike that we're gonna do, and let's go ahead and do a couple things. We can go to this options in the lower right-hand corner, and we can export it. If we want to export it as GPX, we can do that as well. But we're going to do this download offline maps. And there you can see it's downloading the maps. And what it's going to do is it's going to download the maps all around the hike, nothing more, just a little bit of a boundary around it. So it's going to open that up for us or download that for us. And let's let that download. And there we have it. The maps have downloaded, and you can see it's on there. We can also remove it afterwards. And then let's go to Q Sheet down here on the middle. And we can navigate on the phone without a watch. You can just start navigation from here. It's a similar process, very straightforward, but let me show you the watch because that's what it's all about. So we're going to hit this button, Send to Watch. All right, here we are in the Footpath app, and you can see there is the hike that we put on. If we go down a little bit, you can see we could start, we can look at a map. There's the map, there's the hike. We can choose an activity, we can choose units, we can do map orientation. We can also customize the action button. So I've programmed the action button in the settings to go to the workout app. And when I hit the action button now, I can make it toggle the map or not. Or we can do a speak a next turn. And I'll show you how to do that without the action button as well. All right, one of the other things is the use with other workout app. Now, Apple Watch only allows one app to track a workout at a time. So if you want to use the Apple Workout app or any other app, you can just toggle this on, and then this will just be used for navigation. It'll also record, but the official workout that goes to Apple Health will come from the Apple Workout app. So if we want to start this, we just hit start. Now we have a few screens. This is the main screen where we have the distance, and we can customize this by holding in, and we can change all of these data fields just like you can on a Garmin. Again, very powerful. We can scroll up, and we have a couple data screens. There is our elevation plot. We can double click into it and double click out of it. And also the watch will automatically zoom into the current climb that we're on it. So that's pretty cool as well. And then if we want to look at the next direction we have here, we have this. We can tap on this to get to the map. If you want to use the map, we can zoom in and out with the crown, and we can just move around like this. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're navigating on the trail in a second. There we go back. And then we also have the cue sheet right here. And on the cue sheet, it's telling us where we're going to make our turns and all of that fun stuff. And we can also listen to music or podcasts or whatever we want to do on there. All right, here we are at the trailhead, and let's go ahead and hit the start button here.
Continue on Bomber Meadow Trail for a quarter mile until Bomber Meadow.
And there we go. And there is our data screen. And again, we can hit this action button, and it'll bring up the map. And we can toggle out of it with the action button as well. So let's go ahead and start hiking, and I'll show you what it sounds like as we get voice navigation prompts along the way. All right, here we are coming up on the bridge. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map and see what it says about the bridge, or if we get an alert.
Continue across the bridge.
See, very helpful. Continue across the bridge.
Bridge.
Sorry, I talked over that. I just said approaching Waypoint Bridge, and it's giving us a little notification that we're here on the bridge. So very, very handy. Think about if you're out hiking and you're looking for like a water source or a spring. You know, this is just going to pop on and give you a voice prompt. It's pretty handy.
Continue on Bomber Meadow Trail until Bomber Meadow.
All right, so we just got onto the official trail, and it's loaded the trail name onto the route along with the map and everything. So I didn't have to put the trail name in. It automatically said the trail name, and then I can hit the action button on the side to get the map. And there we go. There's the icon for the bridge, that little waypoint that we added in before. And I can do this to get back. If I want to pause or stop and start, you can just press in the crown and the side button at the same time, and that will pause and unpause the app too. So anyway, let's keep hiking and see what it says. Picked a nice trail and a nice time to hike to do this little demo here. Look at all these flowers. Really beautiful, huh? All right, back to the watch, back to the watch. All right, we're approaching the junction here. So let's see what the watch says.
Turn right onto Nature Loop.
So here's the junction. Turn right. It gives me that little prompt there to turn right. So let's turn right. There's Nature Loop. Let's see what it says.
Continue on Nature Loop for a half mile until Nature Loop.
So pretty cool. It's telling us how much farther we have to go to the next navigation change. And we're all set. Pretty cool. So let's keep on going. Actually, we're going to try something different. We're going to go back to that Nature Loop junction. We're going to go the wrong way. Let's go the wrong way and see what it tells us to do. I know the answer to this, but I'm going to show it to you. So here we are. We're on Bomber Meadow. We left Nature Loop, and now we are officially in the wrong place.
The route is 150 feet ahead to your right. Continue on Nature Loop for a half mile until Nature Loop. Continue on Nature Loop for a half mile until Nature Loop.
Well, there you have it. Let's just continue up here, and we're actually going to rejoin the hike, and I'll show you what the elevation looks like.
You are off route.
Yes, I'll show you what the elevation looks like once we start the climb. Another neat feature as we're navigating here, if we go to the cue sheet and we tap on it and we tap on it again, it'll show me where the turn is, where that cue sheet action will happen on the map. There's the finish. So pretty cool. You can get some info on what's coming up based on this cue sheet as well. All right, so here we are back on the original path that we were supposed to be on, Nature Loop. I went back there, and we're going to go up on this other climb, and I want to show you what it looks like when we get to the main climb and what the elevation graph looks like. There's the elevation graph. You can see I double clicked on it, and this is the current climb, and this is the overall climbing, so that's very handy to have. But let's go ahead and keep going. All right, here we are on the climb. Let's go ahead and end the hike so you can see what that's all about. We just hit the pause button and then stop, and there is our stats from the hike. We just hit done, and now this will sync back to my Apple Watch. All right, I'm back on the phone. The watch should have synced with the phone, so I'm going to hit the menu tab in the upper left. Then I'm going to go to tracks in the bottom middle, and here is our track that we recorded. And you can see we could scroll around, we can look at it, we can look at some of the details. This will go into Apple Health. I think you might have to opt into it, but you can send it to Apple Health. And then from there, you can use a third-party tool like RunGap, and there are some others to send it to other destinations if you want to keep track of it. And if you want to know how my Apple Watch Ultra stacked up as a hiking smartwatch, I tested it for 6 months and I made a review on that. I'll put that up on the screen now. I also compare it to a Garmin watch if you're curious. Any questions, leave them in the comments. And again, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more content like this. I am going to be posting some more Apple Watch hiking apps in the very near future, so stay tuned and you'll have all that good stuff.